of the most important things in becoming resilient is to know that you can contribute to your family, to your community, to the world. And when you know that you can contribute, you know that you matter. That's what a sense of purpose is knowing that you matter. And having a sense of meaning and purpose is highly, highly protective. At the same time, I think this concept has hurt kids badly. Why? Because we always talk to people about find your dream, find your sense of mission, find your purpose, and do it by the time you're a senior in high school so that you can write a good college essay about it. And the truth is, finding your sense of purpose is a life's work. It's not something that you can do when you're 16. It involves finding your passion and doing trial and error and making mistakes. So we have to acknowledge that. This is a process, a lifelong process. It's one of the blessings of life. It's not an event. Ask what matters instead of tell young people what matters, right? So we have a vision for our kids so often, and I think all parents have a vision for their kids, and then we share that vision, and that can be a beautiful thing when it's about seeing all that is good and right in your child, but it can also feel like a lot of pressure. This is who I want you to be. This is how you'll actually please me. And what young people need to do is to figure out what pleases themselves. And therefore, if we could just be in the position where instead of sharing with people what our goals and dreams for them are, we kind of go back and we just start from a place of, I think you're absolutely wonderful the way you are. These are the strengths that I see in you. And then you ask, what matters to you? How do you want to make a difference in the world? And then you step back and you make room. You make room for experimentation, because young people have to try on different hats. They have to figure out what makes their heart sing. And that involves some really, really healthy experimentation. And with each time that they experience something, they're going to learn where they were most successful. And the other thing is, what they decide to do is not just based on what they care about the most. It's an interplay between what they care about the most, what makes their heart sing, and what they're particularly good at, right? So just being driven by a passion doesn't mean it should be the focus of their life. If their natural talents and their ability to build on those talents aren't going to enable them to fulfill their dreams, that takes a lot of work, a lot of experience, a lot of experimentation, failure, and getting back up. Curiosity is the best thing that human beings have in going for them. Adolescents in particular are the most curious beings on earth. Why? Because they're super learners. They are taking in knowledge like they will never at any other age, except for when they were toddlers, 0 to 3, right? But otherwise, adolescents, they are super learners. They are naturally curious. So what do we need to do? We need to get out of their way as they explore and as they experiment. But we also have to keep them safe. So we've got to find that sweet spot, right? So if it's at the edges of existing knowledge and experiences that kids are going to learn the most, and their curiosity should get there. But we have to make it safe for them to get there, which means we don't just get out of the way. We also have very clear boundaries beyond which they cannot stray because it's just not safe. And then what do we do at the boundaries as they're experimenting, as their curiosity is driving them? We create golden opportunities for them so that their brain that is driven to experiment really gets their buzz by doing healthy and safe things. We create golden opportunities at those places. And I have one other thought for you, which is we allow them to change their mind. Sometimes we get so into what our kids are doing, and it's so satisfying to us that we just insist they keep doing it. That's not what adolescence is about. Adolescence is about pruning. It's about trying out a lot of things. The bush is pretty full, and then you figure out which shoot is best for you. Well, to give room for that shoot to elevate, sometimes you need to prune away things that don't matter as much. So if you're really into your kid being into a specific sport and they come home and say they don't want to do it anymore, that could be the best thing that ever happened to them, because they're able now to focus their energies on something else. So don't be disappointed when your child prunes to allow something else to excel.